Doesn't matter to you if you get heads or tails.
What was that?
Just don't like to flip all the time. But if you spin it, then you get to see both sides. Oh, the thrill of the double life. Who will you be tonight? That's the question. Who will groove me tonight? That's the question. Oh, 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 oh. I know you heard the rumors. You must get over.
Okay. What in the world is that song? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are more than just entertainment. They're a catalyst for meaningful conversations. I'm Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang. And most weeks we dive into movies to watch in preparation for a new release hitting theaters. But we don't stop there. We talk about the deeper ideas, the life lessons, and the morals that these films have to offer. This week, we're going to discuss two racing movies in preparation for F1 starring Brad Pitt. The two movies we're going to watch, Ford vs. Ferrari and Gran Turismo. Both of these deal with the Le Mans, not street racing like Fast and Furious, so we're looking forward to having that conversation. We hope you'll go check out our website. It's bio.site/moviesthatmakeyou. There you'll find all of our links to all of our social media channels on YouTube, Instagram, and elsewhere. You can also find our podcast link to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also check out our letterbox, which shows you all of our lists on the movies that make you laugh, the movies that make you cry, the movies that make you scream, and everything in between. Before we dive into this week's episode, though, let's take a look at the next 4 weeks on the Movies That Make You podcast. Next week, we're going to be gearing up for Jurassic World Rebirth. In order to get ready for that film, we rewatched the original Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic World, and Jurassic World Dominion, all in preparation to see the new one starring Scarlett Johansson. We like dinosaurs, and we're looking forward to it. The week after that, it is one of the most anticipated films of the year, and that is James Gunn's Superman. This is kicking off the new DC universe in the films with James Gunn at the helm creatively, and so we're really looking forward to this film. To gear up for that, we're going to watch the first iteration of each of the ones that have been on film. So Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, and The Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. I really wish he could have stayed as Superman. He was incredible. The week after that, Kristen's going to be on, and we're going to be talking I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is another one of those 90s classics that came out around the same time as Scream, so we just have a lot of fun with those, and looking forward to that conversation and the rewatch. The week after that, it's one of the other most anticipated films. The week after that, it is Marvel's most anticipated film of the year. That is Fantastic Four. This has been in the works for a very long time. As soon as they bought Fox, everyone was excited for when we would get Fantastic Four. We got a little hint of him in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but this one looks to be incredible. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast.
We are back with another episode of the Movies That Make You podcast. I can't stop smiling. But my name is Colton Griffin, and I am currently 15 and a half. Let's go oldest to youngest.
I am Sprang, and I am the dad.
I'm Connor, and I'm 21.
Zika.
I'm Ezekiel, and I'm 11.
Yeah, Ezekiel said his actual correct age, but that's totally fine. We're just going to keep the audience guessing.
What?
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 You're 11.
But what are you?
I'm dad.
I know what you are, but what am I?
What else? Keep that in there for. What if we do a blooper episode for surprise?
How
Whoa. You didn't see nothing.
is Dad? You're 30.9 years old.
That works. Colton, why don't you share with us what we're talking about today?
We are talking about racing movies, which attracts Connor a lot. Where's that race? We have a really big Lego race car, and I built it, by the way. Just kidding. It was Connor. Cool.
Oh, nice.
That's not the Lego thing.
It's a bike helmet, but
No, where's the Lego?
the Lego, I don't know.
Oh.
It's probably
Never
upstairs.
mind. I was just kidding. We don't have it anymore. But what we do have is a helmet.
Oh, it was the blue, the Technique one that you had hanging on the wall for forever, Connor.
Oh yeah, that's upstairs in the Lego.
We can show a picture of it on this week's podcast or Instagram. We are discussing those movies because this Friday, Brad Pitt's F1 movie comes out, and it looks really, really, really good. He plays a retired racer that's coming back out of retirement to help a young kid. They're going to be on the same team, but they're button heads, and they're not liking each other. So, looks like a fun sports movie.
Sports movie.
I don't think F1's a sport.
Oh, what?
Oh, motorsports, not real sports.
It is real sports.
Wii Sports, just like Wii Sports.
Yeah, just like Wii Sports.
And
Oh,
Nintendo
so
Sports.
share a little bit about Wii Sports because you guys have been playing a bunch.
It's a Nintendo.
Well, we were playing Nintendo Sports, but Wii Sports
we're not sponsored.
Has bowling, baseball, boxing, tennis. I don't think there's volleyball. There's 6 or 5.
They had tennis, yeah. They had basketball, yeah. But you guys
They
are
didn't
playing
have
Nintendo
basketball.
Sports?
They did.
They had basketball
And the beach one.
Yeah, the island one.
And they finally, because no sports games has basketball. Basketball is the best sport in the world. So why is it not there?
That's debatable.
Why is it not there on the Wii?
No, why is it not there on any of these sports Wii things?
Part of that is because they have to figure out the logistics of what we can do with a Wiimote. Like, what can we do with a Wiimote that simulates basketball? And they did do the basketball shooting, but it's not like you could simulate the dribbling or the passing and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
They did the
So
passing.
it's just did they do the
Yeah,
passing?
you can dribble and pass. It's just really hard.
They dribble it. The player dribbles it for you, but you can dribble it faster. And whenever you dribble faster, your character moves up the court. And if you juke you can't juke them out. It's just like luck. But if you juke them out, you can run up and then dunk.
Okay. What have you been playing on the Nintendo Switch?
So today I beat Powerhouse Volleyball 2 times.
Nice.
I've been playing a variety of everything, including soccer. So, yeah.
Cool. What's your favorite in there?
Probably Chambara. It's where you get some swords. One is a normal sword, which does the heaviest attack. One is a charge sword, to where you block and and if the opponent hits it, it'll charge it up. And then there are twin swords, but it's only available for one player because we don't have 4 things.
What about you, Colton? What have you been enjoying about the Nintendo?
I played every game this week. I played volleyball where we beat Powerhouse. I beat it 3 times. And then I played what's it? The one with the you hit. It's like a tennis racket thing. Badminton.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so fun. I haven't beat Powerhouse, but I've beaten Strong. And then I play soccer. The Chambara thingamajobber.
Chambara.
And then tennis, and there was one more game. I don't remember.
When I was growing up and going to Granddaddy's house, remember Granddaddy? He passed away a few years ago. He lived in North Carolina and had a house in the mountains. So I would go there and spend summers there. And we would set up croquet, which is there's little arches that you stick into the ground and you hit the ball through the arches. Yeah. So I'd play that. But then they also had badminton. And we used to play badminton all the time with my cousins and stuff. Like the real thing, not on the Wii.
Did he live next to Mr. Beast?
I don't know. Where did Mr. Beast live?
Mr. Beast was
North Carolina? North Carolina.
I don't know if Mr. Beast was born yet.
Very far out to the right of the U.S.
Yeah, east. But a claim to fame from the area that my grandparents were from had to do with movies. They filmed a movie called Dirty Dancing on Lake Lure, North Carolina.
I think I remember that.
Young Sheldon.
I finished Young Sheldon 3 times.
I finished it 5.
I highly recommend it for sitcom lovers, silent sitcom lovers. You know, the ones where they don't do the ha annoying laugh track sound.
Oh my gosh, I hate that.
It's a very good show for ages 10 and up.
Everyone in that.
It's very funny.
We're not sponsored by any shows.
We are not yet.
I hope.
Connor, what about you? What have you been enjoying about the Nintendo?
I think my favorite one is volleyball, but Zeke he got 220 on bowling, and he was like,
225
on me, and then I got 255 on bowling,
nice.
And now he can't beat it.
Well, just give him some time. That's good. You got to have some competition.
I'm very mad at you. I'm very mad.
Yeah, he was just proud that he won.
He was flexing on me, and I didn't flex on you at all. I just said I got a higher score.
Yeah, sometimes I flex.
Yeah.
I can make my tongue disappear.
Whoa. That's crazy.
That's cool, right?
So for me, I didn't play. We played one match of Fortnite that I had played in the last year. So that was fun. We got 6th place as a team. So that was cool.
Sweats.
Good job, guys. But yeah, church was good today. Had a good time. We're recording this on a Sunday because we got to make up some episodes.
He doesn't get a high five.
So because we've got some vacations coming up, sometimes we're going to be away from the house. So we had to do some double scheduling this week to hit up the podcast we need to make sure that they're out on time. But this is a good one, like I said, for F1, dropping this Friday. So we're super stoked. Before we jump into the movies, let's talk a little bit about cars. And Connor, I know you've been a huge fan of cars for forever. Yeah. What are some of your favorite cars, and why do you like them so much?
So my first car, I want the 240SX. We'll see if it changes. I had 3 options, or I'm still choosing, but the C5 Corvette, the BMW E36, like I don't know which one, and then the 240SX, and I think I want the 240SX. But my favorite car, I think, is the R32. Like, I don't know. I think it's just cool. A lot of people like the R34, but I like the R32.
And that's Audi?
Audi, it's Nissan.
Oh, Nissan. Sorry. I didn't know that.
So basically, I like the Nissan Skyline.
Of course, R34.
The Supra. The Bugatti.
Yeah.
Lamborghini Huracans are so tough. I like John Morant's car. I also like his shoes. Those shoes are tough. Cool. I like trucks, and I like Bugattis. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
Well, then I like them twice.
Yeah. Cool. Zeke, what about you? Any cars you like?
I definitely love Fieros. They look so cool, but they're so low quality. They have like headlights that are like boom, and then they and then they show, and then it's like amazing. They're so cool, but they break down so fast. I learned that from young Sheldon.
Nice. So growing up, my favorite car was always the Corvette. Was like a doable option, not in that supercar status yet. And then I liked the Ferrari over the Lamborghini, but there was a top like 1 and 2. I liked the Ferrari look better. It just felt cool. But then there was also a car, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was a car that I saw a model of in like when I was a kid, and it was back in the 90s, but it was like red. It was a Pontiac. I think it might have been like a futuristic version of like a Firebird or something, but it was the whole body was red, and the top was just a black dome. It looked like a black dome over the red body, and it just looked so futuristic and so cool. There was a show growing up called Knight Rider, where the car was like had an AI and like communicated with the driver, and they'd solve mysteries and stuff like that. And I think they did a made for TV movie in the like 2000 year 2000, I think, called Knight Rider 2000, where I think they used that car as the kit is what they called the character of the car. So that was cool.
Colton, I've been reading the IMDb description of Gran Turismo, and it says that race car driving is the most elite sport in the world. What do you have to say about that?
Basketball's better, soccer's better, football's better,
football's
name any
not
sport's better.
Hockey.
Actually, no, soccer's not better. Soccer is zesty.
What about hockey?
Hockey's better.
No, it's not.
They get a fight.
Yeah, they can. Well, race car drivers can fight too when they
I guess
when they get in a crash. They jump out of the car and try to push each other.
Fight.
Cool.
Changes channel. Fight.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the movies. Gran Turismo was the first one we watched. This one came out in 2023, rated PG-13, directed by Neil Blomkamp, and stars David Harbour, Orlando Bloom, and Archie Madekwe. David Harbour we just saw and talked about in building up to the Thunderbolts movie, and he plays the dad in Black Widow. The Red Guardian is his character, the Russian version of Captain America. So that's where we've kind of seen him before. Orlando Bloom, you guys have not seen. I don't know that you guys have seen Lord of the Rings, right?
No.
Not yet.
I started it with Mom.
Mm-hmm.
We got together to do a family movie night thing, but it wasn't that fun.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a older teen kind of movie. It's slow. It's a drama, but it's a big fantasy thing. Orlando Bloom kind of had his breakout role in that series. So before we jump into our favorite parts, Connor, why don't you give us a rundown of the film?
So at the start, this kid is playing Gran Turismo on his setup, and I have my own setup. He's playing Gran Turismo on his setup, and then his dad walks in, and he says, "Want to play football?" And he says, "No." And he just got his new racing wheel, and then I gotta remember. Yeah, he goes to an arcade, and he plays there, and then he left. And one day he was working, and then his friend told him he got like a reward that if you won a race, he would get to actually race a car. And then he did it at the last few seconds, and he got in because he had to go all the way from work to his thing. And then he won it, and then he went to we missed the part where he drove and then drank alcohol and then like sped away, and he got away with that. But then he went to the thing, and he did like training, and he drove a R35. He drove an R35, I think, and then he did some more training and stuff, and he got better, and then he got second in the last race because people kept getting knocked out. He got second, but like he was a better look, I guess. He was
he got
It was
first.
the other way around. The other guy
was a better look.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah. So
Wait,
our guy
Matt?
got first, and then Matt got second, and they wanted the guy was arguing that they should let the second guy go first because
he's better at interviews, and
Yeah.
he has more publicity and has so much potential, and he's just
more naturally gifted on that.
Glazing.
But then David Harbour argues to have him. No, the kid won the race, so he gets the chance.
Yeah, so then he did that, and then he went to the real races, and he was like super stretched out because it was his first race, and all the other drivers were really good. And then he did a couple races and like got up like closer and closer. He was at like 17th, and then like 13th, and then 10th, and he got closer. And then one race, his car was driving, and then like that, probably because the downforce or something in the wind, so it flew up and then hit the barrier, and then it killed like someone or two people, I think. And then he went to the hospital, and he was super mad, and then they started to heal and stuff. And then his coach, I guess, drove him to like where he crashed and told him to finish the lap, and they finished the lap. And then his next race was the Le Mans, 24-hour Le Mans. And then he did that, and then super intense stuff, and then he won. Yeah,
that was cool. Yeah, the kind of the guy that's heading the team, they call the engineer, and he basically helps him. He's the one talking to him over the headset and all that stuff, keeping them engaged, making sure they're doing the right things. But yeah, really fun movie, really good sports movie. Like it's got a lot of good moments where you see some victories, and then there's some fallback, and then there's some victories, and then some fallback, and then a final victory. So it's like it keeps you engaged and stuff. So, Connor, what is like your favorite part of the movie when you watched it again?
When his car flies up, because that happened in like 19 something. It happened to a Mercedes.
Yeah, on the exact same route.
Yeah,
wow.
I think it was it was on the I think it was on the same track.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, but you know he definitely blamed himself, which I think anybody would. You know, when you're the one that's driving the car and it gets out of control, like it feels like it's your fault. But then the engineer, the Nissan, like executives were like, no, it wasn't your fault. It was a freak accident. And everybody, you know, when he interacted with the racers again the next time, they were like, hey, that's not your fault. You did everything you could. It just was a freak situation with the way the wind hit the car on that little bump and made the car go out of control. Oh, one thing I did want to point out is they were racing the Le Mans, and they were about to shut down the entire like promotion. It was like a combination between PlayStation's Gran Turismo video game or simulator and Nissan that this guy engineered, Orlando Bloom's character. So they were about to shut it down, and so they decided that they were going to take the top 3 racers from their GT camp to Le Mans and have a whole simulator team racing that, and then they actually won, which was just bonkers. But yeah, so to bring those guys back, give them another shot. They'd already been racing kind of in the real tracks, just in some of the lower stuff. They said that they'd continued to race after being cut or losing that competition. So they still felt like that they were good to go. So that was just a cool, I mean, the fact that this is a true story is just crazy. Colton, what about you? What's your favorite part?
Probably when he like wins the last race, because it's like the feeling of victory is just crazy. 24 hours of straight driving. Make that a YouTube challenge.
Right? That'd be crazy. Do they have the Le Mans on your racing game, Connor?
Yeah. I drove on it.
We should do it, man. We should do it. This summer. This summer, Connor races Le Mans. 24 hours straight driving.
Races Le Mans virtually.
Yeah, it's Connor, Colton, and Zeke could be the racing team, and then, we see how you do time-wise.
Is it 8 hours each for each driver?
No, it's 4.
So, they actually traded 3 hours. Every 3 hours, they traded drivers, to keep them fresh.
So, 8 total changes.
Yeah.
And this summer, Connor, Colton, Zeke will all be racing the Le Mans 24-hour YouTube challenge.
We'll do a 24-hour live stream on that.
Yeah, let's do it.
And if they crash, it'll be the end of the challenge.
Actually, no, we should do a 24-hour YouTube video instead of being a podcast. It should be like a YouTube video, because it can't be a live, because our live is like going to be the 100th episode live.
Yeah, so you could do YouTube lets you do a 24-hour stream, but it can't go past 24 hours.
I know, but we shouldn't do a stream, because that's going to be saved for the 100th episode. We should do
I got you.
Where there's cuts between, and it shows pop-ups.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do the challenge, but then it's just
challenge.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour challenge, but we just do a highlight video of it.
But we could do a live stream, then we could do the cut video.
Well, yeah, we'll record it and then cut the video.
We start at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. We end on 3 o'clock on Wednesday. That would be so weird. Just racing all day. That would get so boring and tiring.
I don't know.
We should still do it, though, because it's fun.
There's no day cycles in the game, though.
We would stay up all night grinding that game.
Yeah. That'd be wild. Zeke, what about you? What's your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie probably has to be when he finds out that the brakes are glazed, and then he proves the guy wrong, and then he's like, "Hey, you're on the top 5. You're going to be able to do the race."
Yeah, so that's a good story point. He was in the bottom of the group a lot in the camp, and then this one time he was riding with David Harbour's character, and they crashed, and he said the brakes were glazed, and he's like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "God, man, I've spent 100 hours modding my cars in this game. I know you think it's just a game, but it's really good, and I know what I'm talking about." And then they had the dude go out and drive it, and he's like, "Yep, kid was right." So a big smile on David Harbour's face, he's like, that was his turning point, I think, to realize.
Get out.
I think that was the big turning point for the character to recognize, hey, these kids actually do know what they're doing. So that was cool. For me, I had a lot of good favorite parts. I think the thing that stood out to me, especially watching it this time, was just the relationship between the father and the son, and what, if you guys came to me and said, I want to be a Fortnite, I want to play Fortnite for my career, I would be like, no, you cannot do that. That's nothing. That's not going to lead anywhere. I would be just like this dad.
I want to be a Fortnite player.
Yeah, exactly. I would be like, that's not going to happen. You can't live here anymore. You have to go get a job and
getting
support yourself.
At the age of 12.
Oh no, I just meant if you were older, out of college and stuff. Or
Basketball
Oh.
get you
Ejected is
nowhere,
crazy.
Colton.
But I think there's a sense where, this is a very unique situation and a unique opportunity. And I kept trying to think of, there came a point where the dad realized that he needed to support him. Like once that opportunity came up to where it could become something, I think that's when he realized, looking back, I should have started supporting at that point to like say, hey, this is not something I understand, but this is an incredible opportunity to follow your dream. And I want to support you and encourage you to do this because you got this opportunity and you're so good. Like at that point, jump in. But I think their relationship had been so strained because of the tension between that, him wanting his son to get a real job versus his son wanting to follow his dream like he'd already been told as a kid. So that was just a really interesting and good. They did a good job in that and telling that part of the story. And then at the very right before they start Le Mans, he and the dad comes in and basically apologizes. And the son says, "I did this all for you." And he showed him the sticker from his dad's football team on the helmet. And he's like, I'm doing all this. Like, we're in this together. And so I thought that was just I thought they did a good job telling that part of the story. So while the racing's fun, that's worth going to the movie. I think the things that also did well, it wasn't just a good racing movie, but there was some good relationship stuff too. So that's what I liked.
Are we doing the rating? We should do a unique version. We should all say our rating on the count of 3.
Well,
Okay.
then you wouldn't know. How would you?
No, because we could hear if somebody says it. Like if somebody doesn't say it, what do we think?
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1, 5.
3.5.
Oh
All right.
my!
I said 4.
I said
I think
5.
I meant 4.5. You said 5. You said 5, Connor?
Yeah, I said 5.
You said 3.5.
Oh my!
See, that was such a good movie. It kept me entertained the whole time.
Entertained.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
you
I
were.
say 3.5? I meant 3.5 because it was so good.
Okay.
So
That
5
doesn't
or
make
what?
any
Like,
sense.
what is
Got
it?
7 total.
Okay.
So what
Which
is
would
it?
be 7 out of 10. So my rating is still 3.5. I had to do the math for that.
This monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, we were actually literally cheering in the living room watching this film.
It was so good. Why didn't you give it a 5?
I think I have a 4. Let me check. I'll check.
I know 4.5 is still a good rating, but like I think it was a 5. It was a really good movie.
Let's see. Let's
not
see
very
here.
many movies actually keep me entertained. I'm like bored.
Oh, 5.
Oh
I did give
my
it a 5.
goodness! Zeke.
There we go. It's okay. That's not his cup of tea. That's fine.
Wait a minute.
2.5 out of
Divide
20.
3.5 by 7. You get 0.5. Times that by
Okay,
10. I give it a 5.
Yeah, we want him over. We want him over. Cool. Well, let's. Anything else about Gran Turismo?
No, movie.
Nope.
Good movie.
Connor's
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
movie of all time.
Yeah,
Good.
it wasn't my favorite. But I want to say something. Why is it only on PlayStation? This is ridiculous.
The
You bring
game.
it on. Yeah, I checked in it. It said it's only on PlayStation, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of games that are exclusive to PlayStation because they want to own that to make people buy their system to play it. And so if they have some of those good games, like for a long time, I mean, Uncharted is a PlayStation exclusive also, right? God of War,
It is.
Last of Us. Like, I think they may have done Last of Us on PC, but as far as consoles go, they have a lot of exclusive on PlayStation because they want to keep those top tier games only on their console, and they're doing some of the publishing of it too. So,
But Xbox gave PlayStation Forza, and PlayStation gave us nothing.
I know. Well,
They gave us
Xbox
money.
is more interested in having more market share, so having more people play their games than caring which console it's on, because they already have. I think Xbox already has the market. Do you know how much Xbox owners there are versus PlayStation owners? Why don't you look it up?
More people own a PS5 than an Xbox Series X/S.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It's probably because it looks like a mini fridge.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
It looks
The
good, but
Xbox
people don't
Series
like
X.
that.
Cool. Well, let's jump into the next movie. This one is one that your mom and I saw at the theater. We really loved it. when we were looking at movies for this kind of F1 movie coming out, I thought I thought it might have been rated R, so I was a little bummed that we wouldn't be able to watch it with you guys. But then when we looked it up, it was PG-13, so we were like, awesome.
We get to watch it in the theaters?
No,
Bro.
no, we watched it at the house last night.
Oh, you mean Ford versus
Literally
Ferrari?
yesterday.
Yep. Yes, Ford vs. Ferrari came out in 2019. It's rated PG-13. Director is James Mangold, which I know you guys haven't seen any of his movies yet, but you will. He is participated in a lot of the Wolverine films as the director. This movie stars Matt Damon, Christian Bale, and also has John Bernthal as part of the supporting cast. Really, really good film. So we wanted to watch it with you guys.
F1 is rated PG-13.
Is it?
I just searched it up. It says no, the F1 movie is not rated R.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, that's fun to know. We should go see it.
By the way, we forgot to tell you about the new upcoming Minecraft movie thing. Chicken Jockey, I forgot. But it's going to be a kids podcast, so I'm going to be leading it. And then Connor and Zeke will be joining me. And by the way, Zeke does not have a podcast yet, but he does going to have a podcast soon. So come and check it out. He's going to be doing his favorite shows.
The Minecraft, the Minecraft movie is like a month and a week old.
Yeah, we couldn't see in the movie because someone had something else to do.
Or it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And it was too expensive.
It is a lot of money to go to the movies these days.
Just
with
for
all
someone to scream out Chicken Jockey in the movie.
Yeah.
Guess what? I saw the Minecraft movie in 4D, which means the seat moved, which there were special effects inside the theater where water sprayed at us, and we had a bunch of air hissing, and then there were a bunch of lights and explosions.
Well, I knew Zeke watched the Minecraft movie, but we haven't.
Speaking of the Minecraft movie, we are all going to be tasting lava chicken. Steve's lava chicken as tasty as hell. Ooh, I'm sleeping, now you're ringing the bell. Crispy and juicy, now you're having a snack. Ooh, super spicy, it's a lava attack.
Nice.
So we'll show you guys what it looks like before.
I will say that the recipes I looked up, it's lava chicken because it's super spicy. That's why it's lava chicken. So we're going to have to do some lava chicken and then some baby lava chicken that you'll actually eat. Because I don't think anybody else here wants to eat super spicy chicken.
Can I show you what it's supposed to look like?
You can, but I looked it up already.
You already
Go ahead,
know what
Connor.
it looks like?
No.
So Zeke doesn't like chicken and he doesn't like spicy. So let's see how that works out.
Guys, I have a question. What if we get the camera out and we get a sample of Colton's big muscles? And why don't we get another sample of the Steve lava chicken? There's one bite.
Oh,
and
I got
it's
you.
Super, super spicy.
Yeah. And then we actually eat dinner. We just regular chicken wings or something.
Yeah.
Or pizza.
It's like
or
a
pizza.
block.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that on the clips.
There's actually a free Minecraft mod there's actually a free Minecraft DLC for Steve's Lava Chicken, the arcade games where you can do the mystery thing where you get the earth crystal. There's a gliding game with the scene in the movie, and there's I think it's
Did you forget?
Survival. It's a tower defense game where there are buck chuckets.
Nice.
There's
There's the
the birthday horn. Dun,
I think
dun, dun, dun,
Okay,
dun.
but we don't need to.
today.
We're good with the Minecraft.
Okay.
We're good with Minecraft stuff.
It's all free on the
That's
Minecraft
like the water.
marketplace.
Yes. Once you guys do your so that's thank you for reminding us, Colton. We are going to be doing a couple other shows on the podcast feed. One of them is going to be the reviews of the boys reviewing the movies that they're seeing outside of the regular weekly podcast. And then Zeke's going to do his shows. The only thing we're waiting on for Zeke's is I just have to do the logo, and then we can set that up.
I will make mine soon. It's going to be about probably a little bit of shows, but mostly about basketball and like reviewing the highlights and stuff.
All right.
So you got to watch a bunch of basketball games to get prepared for every podcast.
Yep.
And
Just
you're
one
going to have
basketball
to. And you're
He's
going
just going to do one basketball game.
Oh, it's going to be like a big movie?
I don't know. We'll have to
Well,
let
we're
him
gonna
show
have to
it.
get that basketball subscription because I don't know where else we would watch it.
Hulu.
ESPN.
Yeah,
Or
they
yeah.
have some basketball games. You just have to pick one that we can actually watch, and then you watch it. And then ESPN also has the highlights, so you could just do kind of a review of the top 10 plays or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's jump into the movie Ford vs. Ferrari. I'll give the rundown of this one. It basically centers around the competition that we talked about in the last movie, the Le Mans, the 24-hour Le Mans race. Ferrari had won it consistently over and over and over again, and Ford's sales were decreasing. So one of the marketing guys proposed that if we build a super fast race car and we compete against Le Mans and beat Ferrari, that will have our sales go up because they'll want to buy the fast car. He talked a lot about that in that pitch scene. I thought it was really interesting and really good. So what they do is they go to find a guy named Carroll Shelby, and that's played by Matt Damon. He is a famous, he's the only American to have ever won the Le Mans. So they bring him in to be the engineer of the racing team to help design the car and get the speed up. He has a good friend, Kenny Miles, that is played by Christian Bale, who he trusts as being one of the best racers in the world of all time. And so he gets him on the team, but he rubs people the wrong way because he's got a little bit of an attitude and he's kind of an elitist when it comes to racing. And it's his way or the highway in a lot of ways. And so he rubs the executives wrong, so they don't want him to race on the team. So he misses the first year that they race Le Mans. They lose the Le Mans the first year. And then that gives Shelby the opportunity to go to the Ford the second and say, you need to put me in charge and let me run this team like I need to run this team. And so they do. And then there's a point where he hands over the reins to the guy that doesn't like Miles. And there's a fear that he's not going to be able to race. But they ended up being able to prove that you need Ken Miles racing that car. And they go to Le Mans and they're winning like crazy. The Ferrari car blows up because it can't keep up with the speed that they're doing in the Ford car. And then he's like 4 or 5 laps ahead of the entire racing team. And they ask him to slow down so that the Ford cars could all drive across the finish line at the same time. They all line up to do that. He fights it. Carroll Shelby doesn't want him to do it. He basically says, I have to tell you to do this, but it's your car. You do what you want. But then while he's driving, he decides he's going to slow down and let the other cars catch up, and they're going to go across. He's going to be a team player. So they all drive across the finish line. He drives in first, the other guy second, the other guy third. But because one of the other cars started the race further back, it meant that he drove further, which meant his finish line was sooner. And so that guy actually was placed first on the leaderboard. And so he should have won, but he lost it because of the politics of the Ford executives. But the Ferrari guy, Enzo Ferrari, gave him a head nod and a hat raise saying, I recognize your greatness. And so that was a cool moment. The movie kind of ends on a sour note because he loses that race. And then they're testing another car for the next year. And I don't know exactly how long after that race this happened, but he's doing a test run and the car crashes and he can't get out. So ends on kind of a sad note, but following that point, the Ford won 5 years in a row, won the Le Mans. So it was really a turning point, I think, for the Ford Motor Company. And it was a really, really fun, dramatic movie.
When's the next Le Mans race?
That's a good question. Connor, you got it. Connor's our tech guy. He's looking up all the things.
Is it like every 2 years or every 4 years?
The years on the movie was every year.
June 14th through 15th, 2025.
Okay. We'll have to look that up. That'd be awesome to kind of see if we can find it on ESPN.
24 hours of just straight watching. I would do
that. That would be boring.
Remember whenever Mom got up really early just to watch volleyball?
I got up too.
You did?
Yeah.
Was it volleyball? I think it was gymnastics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she doesn't watch volleyball.
Yeah. You're just excited about the Nintendo volleyball, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So Connor, why don't you go first? What's your favorite part of the movie, that Ford vs. Ferrari movie?
When they're head to head going against, and then Ferrari slows down because he doesn't want to get in a crash, and he lets them get ahead.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment too, because it was like he was still Miles was still a little bit hesitant, but then he decided he was going to commit. And kind of like in the other movie, there's a lot of similarities between the two movies, not just Le Mans, but not just racing, but even just kind of the fact that he's not good in front of a camera, and they don't want to have him, be the spokesperson. Same thing with Miles. They don't like the way that he interacts with everybody. He's, kind of rubs people the wrong way.
In both movies, they said at some point everything slows down.
Yeah. So I think it's legit.
7,000 RPM.
Yeah, that's the Ford vs Ferrari, but I don't know what they said in the other one. In the game, it doesn't feel like that, but maybe in real life.
Right. Zeke, what about you? What's your favorite part of Ford vs Ferrari?
My favorite part of Ford vs Ferrari when he says, Henry Ford is not Henry Ford. Henry Ford is Henry Ford II.
Yeah, that's so when they met with Enzo Ferrari, they were going to try to buy Ferrari, and then they ended up selling to Fiat instead. But he told the representative, John Berthol's character, that please go back and tell your pig-headed boss that he's not Henry Ford, he's Henry Ford II. So that was what actually turned him to say, okay, we're going to take this guy down, because his pride basically said, I'm not going to be talked to that way. So it actually worked out for the story. But yeah, Colton, what about you? What's your favorite part?
It's a sad part, but when the guy dies, it was just like a cool
I wasn't
scene.
expecting it. Like, it was so unexpected.
And it was a really cool scene.
It was. He was. I mean, it was a nice day outside. Everybody's chilling. Everybody's excited, and he's just going for another ride. And then all of a sudden, it just shows you how complicated or how complex some of those racing vehicles are, and that it takes a real professional to know what they're doing. And even then, there's opportunities where things can go wrong. So you got to be safe. But cool. Any other thoughts on Ford versus Ferrari? I'll let me show my part real quick. My favorite part, I loved the part where they took the Henry Ford into the car and drove really fast, when Carroll Shelby drove really fast around the track. And it ended in
crying.
Yeah, and he was crying. He was crying because it was so emotional for him. And I really felt that from his character. He's like, I wish my dad could see this. His dad started this company, and they never had any idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought his grandpa was Henry Ford.
No, they said Henry Ford II. So that means he's the second. Look it up real quick. Because I thought both things. He may be Henry Ford II, but he's the grandson, maybe. I don't know.
Guys, look at this. I don't have a hand. I don't have a hand, see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do, right there.
No, I'm talking about my left arm. My left is your right, so.
Well, my wrong is your right.
Say up.
What?
Say up.
Up?
Down. Like
That was
father,
silly.
like son.
Yeah.
It was the grandson. That's right.
Crazy.
So he was just named Henry Ford II. Wait, actually, I bet you it's Henry Ford's son was not named Henry.
That's what I'm thinking too. And I don't know that I'd ever seen that, but yeah, that's because I was with you, Colton. I heard that early in the movie, and then when he said the second, I was like, oh well, I guess I heard that wrong earlier. So, but yeah, that was my favorite scene, because just seeing the emotions of it, and the fact that he's like, I didn't have any idea that a car could go that fast. When my granddad or my dad or whatever, started these cars, like, and he just felt so much pride for that in that moment, and he just started crying. And that's the last time that Carroll Shelby basically was able to argue for Ken Miles to be the racer. That was good. I just love seeing Christian Bale and Matt Damon act, and they were just so much fun. So before we jump off this movie, though, I have to ask, did anybody recognize who Christian Bale is from what other movie series that we've watched?
What's the name? It's just Thunderbolts. Yeah.
Oh, that was David Harbour. That was David Harbour from the other movie. So Christian Bale played the race driver in Ford vs Ferrari. Do you remember?
He looked familiar. I knew that.
He played Batman in the Christopher Nolan movies. So Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
The Batman is taking way too long. I
know, buddy. We just gotta relax on it, because
I still have the comic.
Yeah, they keep announcing that it's being pushed, but just because of scheduling and stuff. but the head of DC, it's like co-heads of DC, but James Gunn basically said, no, we're still moving forward with that movie, so don't listen to any rumors, but we're still moving forward with that movie. Colton had his hand up first.
Man.
Chapter 7 is coming before GTA 6.
Interesting.
No way. Is that real?
Yes.
Is that real?
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
That's so weird.
Wow.
Connor, what were you going to say?
Can we go on movie night? Or did we go whenever it first posted? Because I want to get another comic.
Yeah, they might do that again. I don't know if they'll do it again, but we can always go get another comic.
No, on the story, I read it. On the story, it was like a cliffhanger.
I know, but I have the full comic book.
Oh, yeah.
They just redid it and they changed all the characters to look like the movie versions. But I have the whole thing. It's the Long Halloween, I think.
Oh.
Year one. I can't remember. I'll look at it. But yeah, I have the full story on comic. It just doesn't look like the characters from the movie, but it's the same story. Cool. All right. Well, that'll do it for this movie. Let's go ahead and rate it. Ford versus Ferrari. Let's just go down oldest to youngest. Boys.
The older cars are good. I like the sounds. Probably like a 4.5.
I'm going to be generous and give it a 4.
Okay.
Man.
See?
Dang.
What'd you rate it?
Me?
Yeah.
I said boys first.
You're a boy too?
I'm gonna guess what you would guess, which would be a 4.5.
4.5. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. I give it 4.5.
But for real though, it was really good.
I'll give it a 4.5 to not break the streak.
Nice.
Because I was thinking 4 or 4.5. It was pretty good.
Yeah. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, go see F1 this weekend. It's going to be a fun one. Brad Pitt looks awesome in it, and it'll be cool to see that story unfold. Catch you guys later.
It doesn't matter to you if you get heads or tails.
What was that?
Just don't like to flip all the time.
That 5 was so
But if you spin it, then you get to see both sides. Oh, the thrill of the double life. Who will you be tonight? That's the question. Who will Gru be tonight? That's the question. Oh, 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 oh. I know you heard the rumors. You must get over.
Okay. What in the world is that song? Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Again, you can check out all of our links at bio.site/movies that make you. Feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep watching movies.